The evolving business communication landscape brought us a better way to target customers. Thanks to data, businesses can now efficiently reach their key stakeholders, create awareness of their brands, and grow loyalty. Speaking to us about the exciting world of ad tech and its whole ecosystem, Mr. Nikko Acosta, President and Group CEO of Brave Connective Holdings.
A family can now do everything at home, and now they can grow both personal and professional, plus earn more because of the digital economy.
We are now open for business.
It is a signal to the world. We are open for business.
Here at Open for Business, we advocate for the digital transformation of MSMEs and enterprises. And part of that is the way businesses market themselves and manage customer relationships. Reaching customers has never been more data-driven than it is now. It has become crucial to know when to use data to empower you to make decisions on crafting your content, where to spread it, when to release it, and how. Here to help MSMEs understand the ecosystem of ad tech, data capabilities, and digital and marketing solutions, please welcome Mr. Nikko Acosta, President and Group CEO of Brave Connective Holdings. Under Brave are subsidiaries AdSpark, M360, and Inquiro. Let's get to know how these companies can help your business connect to customers efficiently. Welcome to Open for Business, Sir Nikko.
Thank you, Mr. CRV, and thank you for having us, Brave Connective, in One Globe. We're very happy here to be with you. And regards to the audience of Open for Business, maraming salamat for having us today.
I know Nikko for several decades already. He is one of the key influencers, key persons in developing new revenue streams also for the network. But a lot has changed so far. You've been with several industries prior to Globe Telecoms. Can you tell us briefly on your journey with Globe Telecom?
In my 20s and early 30s, I was working in the fast-moving group of companies, whether it was a local brand or an international brand. So I moved around the areas of sales and marketing primarily. And then come 98, 99, I was very interested to work for the telecoms industry. Because at that time, kaka-deregularize lang ng telecom industry. And I felt all the learnings that we've had in the past, can we apply it to an industry that is very young? Very young in the sense that landline was going to be overtaken by mobile very soon. And I said, this is a good challenge for me as I enter my 30s. And that's when I entered Globe Telecoms in 2002, I believe. And that has been a journey that has been good for the past close to 23 years now. And in that 23 years, my journey in Globe Telecom, as you were asking, I was able to go to the different facets of the company. I was able to work in the mobile business, broadband, B2B. I was working as a marketing person, a salesperson, a commercial person, operations, and also product. And I also had an opportunity to work locally and internationally. And I think that also blends in with the purpose of Globe kasi one of the values of Globe is to take care of its people. And at a very young age in your career, they will already say, you have a journey with us, and eventually you will be able to lead a bigger group someday. If that is part of your own values, we will take care of your career as long as we are able to see that your stints are also delivering value for the company. So every 3 years, CRV, I was moving around from one place to the other. And now, when I hit my 20th year, my boss said, it's time for you to move away from telco and lead one of our subsidiaries, and that is Brave Connective.
Very, very interesting and exciting at the same time. But before I ask the other questions, Nikko, I just would like you to react on this research. The Philippines posted the fastest growth in the overall digital economy among 6 ASEAN economies at 20%. That's according to the Economy Southeast Asia 2024 report by Google. And in the Philippines, double-digit growth in the digital economy was driven by e-commerce, which jumped by 23%. Yung journey mo, lahat ito parang papunta doon sa digital economy. So, kumbaga parang you were groomed to be where you are now. So, what's your reaction on this research?
The digital economy sometimes is misunderstood. People always think about it, CRV, as e-commerce automatically. When we were trying to understand the digital economy sa One Globe, we tried to understand what are the opportunities for us to be able to serve our customers better. And the data that I would like to share with you, which is a part of the Globe data, is that for a family of 5 dito sa Philippines, no, you have your parents or guardians, perhaps 2 children or 2 kids and an extension. They have to live on a subsistence of about a little over $200 a month or a little over 10,000 for a family of 5. So what does this mean? Every month, they have to make a decision whether do they eat, do you go to school, buy more amenities. So it's very, very difficult. Now, where does digital economy, you mentioned 23% growth. In fact, that is now a 3 trillion economy today. Because now you can do a lot of the work that we were doing, study, go to the office, do your own business, order, logistics, online. Okay? So imagine now, a family that is just getting $200 plus can now do everything at home with the proper support in terms of their internet service, and now they can grow both personal and professional without having to leave the house. That allows them to have a lot of disposable income, plus earn more because of the digital economy.
And do more.
Yeah. So sometimes we think the digital economy is about putting money in your pockets, which is in a way true, but it's also creating a level of purpose and passion in the hearts of the Filipinos that kaya natin to. In spite of what's happening in the environment, the digital economy is our way to be able to make ourselves better and uplift our lives by making sure that we are always connected. And we are, in Globe and Brave Connective, we are the ones that will enable you to be able to reach those new heights.
Wow, that's awesome, Nikko. After the pandemic, one of the discussions with other CEOs I guested here, sabi nila, it was COVID-19, which was the key driver of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Parang, di ba, dati bago pandemic, pinag-uusapan natin, oh, are you ready for the 4th Industrial Revolution? Mga ganyan. But here comes COVID-19. So, with what you're saying that with One Globe, you have, these insights on the use of data and how it can impact the lives of the Filipino people. Ito po ba ay napagplanuhan nyo rin yung vision na ito o bumilis after nung pandemic?
Yeah. Well, even before the pandemic or any crisis, Globe has always been very, very clear on its vision. And that is really to create a globe of good by making the lives of Filipinos much better. Pag may pinangahawakan kang ganun ka-powerful na statement and you are taking care of your people, we have what we call the Globe Way, which is one of this is to take care of our people and to take care of our customers. Any type of crisis allows us to be able to think of how do we become true to that purpose even though nagbago na yung environment. And you said data earlier. When people were confined to their homes, they were still producing. People were still working, and we talked earlier, Net25 was one of the companies, maybe the only company that was producing new material while doing it virtually. Right? That particular environment creates a new economy, of which new data would come in. So, imagine, I would go out before and eat, and I would pay through a form of e-commerce. Now, I would order in and still pay for an e-commerce. So, we would know where the customers now would need our services more. As long as that purpose is clear and very, very strong, the environment, no matter, even though COVID-19 was very difficult to live through, we believe in the resilience of the Filipino. We believe in the resilience of our community. And we were there to make sure that resilience is aided properly over the 2 years' time. And we never lost focus, and that is to take care of the Filipinos, our community, by making people feel more enabled with our services. You know, Sergio, minsan nagkakamali tayo when we think of, we serve people by giving them products and new technology. Baliktad. We serve people by using those technology to understand their problems more. We cannot give them a product that they don't understand. We need to understand why they need a certain type of service, and then we use technology to be able to address that need. And one of those needs is data, analytics, to understand how can we be able to bring them our services while they're confined at home. And by the tail end of 2022, nung bumabalik ng mga tao sa offices, nag-iba naman. Hybrid setup na. So, we need to make sure that an office such as Net25 is fully able to do virtual, because I'm sure you have work from home hybrid.
Yes.
And a lot of your employees are still working from home. So that type of economy is very, very different. So, but as long as maganda yung purpose, klaro, technology will enable you to move forward.
What you just mentioned, Nikko, is strategy. So, syempre, which is one of your many hats as Chief Strategy Officer. So, what you mentioned are initiatives. So, you're involved in these initiatives. Pero, so far, ano yung pinakamalaking proyekto na masasabi mong, you know, which created impact in terms of the strategy that you shared with not only with the Globe company, but you know, to Filipinos?
Yeah, January, February, may performance evaluation kami eh. So, feeling ko ini-interview mo ako for a performance evaluation. But, you know, I was the Chief Strategy Officer for Globe. I had the privilege from 2020, I think 2021 for 2 years. I'm now more focused on Brave Connective by middle of the year. But I would say 3 things. One, in our company, the biggest project is always not yet done.
Okay.
Kasi pag isip mo ito na yung pinakamali mong project, you might tend to be a bit complacent, and you might think that the situation is boring. And in fact, if you feel that nagawa mo na lahat, it's time for you to move out and do another thing. But I would say, from a strategic level, we were able to identify that the companies now that we have are both core and non-core. Telco is core, fintech is core, where GCash is. And all of the new companies that we needed to build must help support the core, what we call adjacencies. If that is your view, then technically you are very hyper-focused so that your success is much more ensured and you're not scattered in terms of where you put your resources. And the best way to help the opportunities and the issues of the Filipino community is by being able to be hyper-focused in order to be really helpful to them. And third, I think that we did well is naisip mo yung tamang way to do it. What is that big conviction that you will have that will drive your company forward for the next 2 or 3 years? And we made a commitment to make every Filipino a digital Filipino. And not only because they watch a particular video on a particular streaming service, it is because they are using the services that we provide to make their lives better. Imagine a household biglang nawala ng internet. You will hear a lot of issues.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. What we want is to make sure that they're properly enabled, and while we are not perfect, we know how to be able to address them and to help solve them. So as CSO, find out which are the proper adjacencies to support the core, attack that with a conviction of making every Filipino a digital Filipino. And I think we planned it out to make that happen in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow. Which leads me to this new baby. Actually, relatively, hindi na nga new baby.
3 years na.
Pero, paano ba nagsimula itong Brave Connective? So, what's the idea behind Brave Connective?
In fact, it's connected to our own story in Net25 when we felt before that Net25 can become bigger through partnerships such as with Globe. And now it's bigger. You have now diversified. And we're now talking about something that we talked about years ago on how we're able to use other people who are smarter than us to be able to share their stories. I'm not saying I'm smarter, but to share their stories. Brave Connective happened about 4 years ago. There were senior leaders who were seeing that the B2B economy is growing, but not as strongly as other regions because they have not adopted digital methods yet. And why? They do not understand what digital means. Number 2, if you don't understand, iisipin mo is mahal. It's very expensive. And third is, why would I spend on something that I don't understand and I cannot measure? So at that time, we said, what are the things that they are not digitalizing? The way they understand the customers. Data, analytics that will help them understand their customers better. Number two, if you understand the customers, how do you communicate to them better on a digital level? And number three, if you decide to communicate to them, how do you reach them? What method? Is it an OTT? Is it a P2P? And so on and so forth. What type of platform would you do that? And we felt that is what we needed to do, especially with the growing SME group. That was more evident during the pandemic. Kasi a lot of the sectors closed down because they did not have a digital enablement to be able to continue providing the service. So that was our conviction. We said we need a company that will be able to help another company to say, I can help you understand your customers better. And once you understand that, this is the best way to reach out to them on a digital communications level. And third, this is the way to measure that. And fourth, you hear all about this communications about 11-11, 12-12, 10-10, all of that. You need a platform to send those messages on time and make sure na hindi nararamdaman ng customers na delayed na to, hindi naman to. So we have a messaging platform as well. So we said at that time, AdTech to, but we now call it OmniTech, an umbrella that combines the ability to data analyze, send communication through that data analysis, and be able to tell your customers, your clients, this is your ROI based on what we've done together.
Natanong ko si Professor Ronnie, sige, kahit na mataas yung digital economy natin, paano pa ba tataas? So ang sabi niya, the only reason para tumaas pa yan ay maging active naman yung B2B. Kasi malakas na tayo sa B2C. Tapos may C2C pa nga. No, pero yung B2B, yun daw ang mahina. So sa kanya, ito na yung magpapalakas. With Brave Connective, you gave us an overview already. But everything is based on data and analytics. So ano po ba, Nikko, yung mga businesses na pwedeng makagamit nito? So like say for example, yung mga nabanggit mo, Nikko, parang sa una, parang mahirap intindihin. Pero as you mention it, like say when you provide case studies already, sabi ko, oo nga, no? Umaga parang doon marirealize na parang maaring ginagawa na rin ng mga negosyante o kaya MSMEs, pero hindi lang nila alam na yun yung ginagawa nila. And it's good that Brave Connective is here to somehow you are professionalizing the services. Pero ano po ba yung mga businesses sa ilalim ng Brave Connective?
Yeah, I once had a conversation with a leader who just entered a new industry na wala siyang experience. So tinanong siya, bakit ka papasok dyan? Wala ka na maalam sa industriya na yan. He just said, but I'm a user of their services. I'm a consumer. So what's the best way to understand one service that you are not part of professionally, but personally you are connected to? So I think that's the best way. The companies that we have, sometimes we call them the assets of Brave Connective. Brave Connective kasi is the holdings company. So pinili namin what are the companies that could be part of it to help our overall objective of making the B2B businesses access digital technology and enablement much easier. To answer the other question that you had, sino pwedeng company? Anyone. So we have companies that really can reach out to any partners out there, be it Net25, another company, and so on. We have a company called AdSpark. AdSpark is a 11-year-old. You'll be surprised how tenured some of the companies that we have. Ngayon yun lang naririnig. Kasi sometimes
11 years old.
It takes the proper environmental circumstances to make it work, di ba? So AdSpark started as a department with the vision of having a digital advertising agency, one that would address the needs of the consumers, clients-wise, when they want to communicate to the next generation of clients who are now much more connected digitally, as opposed to when we were growing up. I'm much older than you, but when we were growing up, watching TV, movies. Ngayon, they get their information through streaming, di ba? So we waited for that generation to come in. At ready na sila ngayon. So AdSpark works with the client and say, in order for you to be able to communicate and reach out to this new generation who watch more streaming and so on, we have the proper way of being able to choose the media and create content for you. So that's one, how to communicate. We are committed to help those companies that are seeing that opportunity to help them with our expertise. And in fact, CRV, when we look at the advertising industry ngayon, hiwalay na yan. Trad and non-trad, the digital. And in fact, the non-traditional or the digital advertising agencies, more than 20 plus na ang involved in order to address the customers.
20 plus
Agencies.
What? 20 plus
More
agencies.
Yeah, and it's still growing. And we're
Wow.
proud
Wow.
we're in the top 2. Now, one of the most important is, who's our customer? Okay, yung mga questions ng mga B2Bs namin. Parang, Nikko, I want to start up another branch but I don't know where. I want to set up a branch or a new online channel and I want it to be successful. So we have a company like Inquiro. We take data that is available to us, of course, an agreement na very private ang utilization namin. Take that data and go back to the client and say, based on our data, there is a strong stream of consumers that will often buy snacks at a certain time in this region because maraming schools in this area. Perhaps your online channel or your advertising or your physical brand should be there. And that's what we call footfall analytics care of Inquiro.
So parang location-based.
In a way, location-based, usage-based. That's one example. One of my issues sometimes when I send out packages, pagdating dun sa lugar na dideliveran ko, hindi naman sila nag-order. Okay? So we also have an ability to check if your credit and your ability to fulfill that service is high through a scoring system. Of course, we work through a lot of companies. So, bastang AdSpark creates that communication vehicle, Inquiro allows us to understand who we're speaking with. Okay? So, kung alam mo na yung customer a bit better, mas madali mo silang padala ng message. The third company that we have is M360. This is the leader in terms of messaging, not only in the Philippines but in the region.
What platforms ito in terms of messaging?
We have your very safe A2P. We have an OTT platform kasi some people also do not like to receive yung...
Sir, para lang maintindihan, Nikko, ng mga kababayan natin. OTT is over the top.
Yes. So parang...
Ano yun?
When you receive a message CRV, sometimes you get it basic SMS, di ba?
Okay.
Kunyari,
Text yun, SMS.
text, okay? So what we do sa texting is we have a platform and send it to you, okay? That's your traditional.
Okay.
And that's how we often reach the larger population.
Okay.
But there is a group, okay, who always wants to get their messages through an OTT. Okay? From your apps, di ba? Hindi ko na sabihin yung mga apps natin kasi marami sila. But you are able to read your messages through that. So we also have that opportunity.
Okay.
So whether you say old school or new school, we have that messaging connectivity.
Okay.
So if you know your customers, you know how to communicate with them, so that's through Inquiro and AdSpark, we now have the messaging platform to deliver that message to them. And that's through M360. So isipin natin to, sabihin mo AdTech, Omnitech, masyadong high-tech yan. Simple lang yan, it's a circle. If you have a problem to be able to communicate something to your customers because you want something to serve them better, we will help you understand where your customers are, as an example. We will craft a service for them through content and media to be able to digitally advertise to them. And third, use a messaging platform, whether it's core or traditional or non-traditional, to be able to send that message at the proper time to them. So if you really go back, it's the same way that people were reaching out to us when we were younger. But this time, it's all digital. And imagine that. If you remove a lot of the physical infrastructure and all of the third parties in between, your business can become much more efficient and effective on their investment. Because it's all digital. The investment is on us. And it all starts by saying, we are here in the same path towards serving the customers, but this time we're using digital technology to serve them better.
Sino pa ang dapat mag-avail? Example, marami po dito kumpanyang maliliit. Halimbawa, mga members ng franchising associations.
Sure.
Diba? Kasi siyempre, akala nila ang pag-advertise sa TV minsan mahal. Pero siyempre, sa Net25 at Open for Business, at bukasiyan natin yun na, sige, tumulong tayo para ma-promote yung produkto mo. Pero itong tatlo na to, na services, these three services that Brave Connective is offering, is exactly what they need. Sino ba? Anong industriya ba sila? Gaano ba sila kalaki? Ito ba ay pwede sa MSMEs at pwede rin ba ito sa large enterprise?
You know, sa Globe, tinanggal na namin yung distinction between SME ka or large enterprise. Sometimes misnomer yung sasabihin mong small, medium business eh. Kasi sobrang importante nila, there's nothing small or medium on what they're doing. Diba? Imagine mo mawala yung nagsaservice sa'yo in terms of bringing you food, for example. Malaking impact sa buhay mo yun. So, to me, these are B2B businesses. Okay? If you remove that distinction, for us to service you, kung wala ka ng distinction that this is bigger or the smaller, we cater to everyone.
Lahat.
Lahat. Ang nagiging challenge namin ngayon is how to be able to advise them on what are services. But surprisingly, the ones as you mentioned, yung mga nangangailangan kasi wala silang full end-to-end infrastructure, the SMEs or the businesses that are just starting, sila talaga yung mas madaling makaintindi. Kasi understanding comes sometimes from necessity.
Yung pain point nila.
Yeah.
Yung pain point eh.
Yes. In fact, one of our biggest clients that we started 2 years ago with Inquiro was a riding service that wanted to find out not only the time when it's best to prepare their bikes to be able to service the clients, but also where they are located. Diba? Ngayon, an employee of a company in BGC or Makati or in Quezon City, ano man suot yan, sumasakay na yan eh. Diba? So they needed data. So to us, we don't distinguish between enterprise or SME. There's nothing small about it. There's nothing enterprise if you have been there for 20, 30 years. We service them. It's all available. What type of industry? Any industry that is now willing to commit to digitalization, we service. Okay? Now, there are still industries that do not want to, and we respect that. That just allows us to hyper-focus on the industries that want to. Kasi minsan, kailangan mo din gustuhin yung pagbabago in order for you to be able to match. If you're not ready, okay lang. Because there will come a time na we will be ready to partner up. So to answer your question in a very succinct manner, we're open for business for anybody, okay, who is willing to make that digital transformation to service their customers better.
Pero baka naman, Nico, prohibitive ang price. Are there parang pricing packages that Brave Connective is offering as well?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we do not naman underestimate the power of somebody to optimize their resources. Kasi alam din naman natin na marami silang pinagagastusan. So we come up with agreements. I don't want to kasi always say it's about pricing. Sometimes hindi. For example, somebody who's willing to buy a higher-end package comes with a service that is 24/7 in terms of having a commercial person talk to that person or customize online billing. But if you want a package that is more simple, that is less frills, we also have that. So what we look at is, for us to be able to share resources, we have to make money as well. Open naman yan eh. Okay? So we study what our P&L can take and where we can take certain breaks and be able to service them better. For example, in the ad agency world, you go for volume. Okay? So pag volume, frequency. Ang data, monetization, sometimes you go for value. One big package can cover you for the end of the year, full years, usually 3 to 12 months. Sometimes we have now clients signed up for the next 3 years. Ang delivery has to be on a per transaction basis. Diba? So when we say we're open for business for everybody, we also adjust. And that's not only about pricing, but also on how we service you. We make it available for everybody. Now, do we always get it right? No, not by... I will be lying to you if I say we're the perfect company. We treat ourselves as work in progress. Pag work in progress, you try better. And that includes what's the right offer to the clients. So we have a conversation parati with the clients.
Hindi ba nawawala na yung personal touch doon, yung customization? O meron ka pa rin, parang hybrid pa rin siya na, data ang service namin, pero we are always there for you. May mga ano pa rin ba kayo? May ahente rin ba yan? Kasi katulad ba ng ad agency pa rin na yan na, we will be there to service you, mga ganyan. Baka sabihin ng mga nanonood sa atin, wala nang personal touch yan. Baka chatbot na rin ang mga kausap namin. So, how do you manage that, Nico?
We have a conviction in Brave Connective we're about 200 plus, that our biggest asset is our people. You know, I sit here talking with you about Brave Connective, but the real heroes and heroines behind Brave Connective are the people that you don't see on screen today. These are the same people who are ready to explain a product to you face to face, create codes for you while they're not being seen, and be able to deliver that service, and to be able to have a chat with you if the service is not up to par. So, straight answer is we still have that face-to-face interaction. We just have it in a different method. For example, you can communicate with me through an OTT app now these days, so that wherever I am, anywhere in the world, I can be reached, as opposed to a phone call. So when we say we're open for business to give our services, that means we are dedicated also to serve you. Not only from a sales perspective, kasi people sometimes forget in business that ang pinaka-importante is the salespeople. Totoo naman. But there are a lot of people behind the salespeople, the technical people, the people behind the cameras to make sure that the storyline is there. Lahat yan equals a Brave Connective. I may be CEO, but there is one person in his or her 20s in Incuro that's much smarter than me, who's doing the products, is doing the encoding. Sila yung next generation. Ang role natin dyan is for them to be able to say that beyond products, talk to the people. Because our best learning today is not just data analytics, but having conversations such as this, to be able to say, nga no, pag nilagyan mo ng personification yung data, mas madali kasi nag-uusap kayo. So in Brave Connective, one of our biggest assets is we connect you through actual conversations.
What is unique with Brave when we look at competitors as well? What's the USP? Kumbaga, bakit pupunta ang halimbawa mga nanonood ngayon para kumuha ng serbisyo ng Brave Connective? Ano po ba yung kakaiba sa Brave Connective?
Well, as I explained earlier, we brought everything together. We're a one-stop shop, so you don't have to go far. And in fact, if you're a one-stop shop, you'll be able to do those special packages much better. Kasi andyan na lahat eh. Now, if you're that client that wants to do just data analytics with us, pwede din. But at least, isa lang kausap mo. You only talk to one CEO when it comes to Brave Connective. We do joint calls that talks about our services. Our product people are spread out across all of the 3 or 4. And that allows us also, as one unique proposition, to bring in more assets in the future, because it's now one family, as opposed to doing it specialized way. I would say we have everything under one shop to be able to service you much better.
We always talk about data, di ba? And basically, the engine behind everything in this business is data. What about implications in terms of data privacy? With the Internet Transactions Act, na parang halimbawa, online merchants are mandated by law na kailangan ilabas nila yung address, magkaiba sana yung business number sa personal number. So with all this data analytics, how safe are the data provided by Brave Connective?
No, it's very safe in the sense that this is one of the benefits of being part of the One Globe. The moral law is to take care of our customers. Okay? Before anything is drafted, there's always that need to make sure. Even when I was doing postpaid years ago, there is always a contract between you and the customer that you sign in order to make sure that we can use this data or not. When I went to content, you always had to say yes or no to certain things in order for you to be very aware of what we send you and what you can get from us. So if that company is used to that, it stems to Brave Connective, kasi we make sure that not only legally, but also morally, we are able to treat our customers right. So there are so many laws already today that protects the consumer and also the businesses as well. So we're covered with that one. Second, we also think that beyond the law, there is always that need to be able to take care of customers na hindi sila matatakot if they get this service. Also, one of the things that provide a lot of protection for them is our information drive. We tell them what are the right information, what is the wrong information. Madalas kami magsabi kung huwag niyo bubuksan ang message na to pag mali, kung may gatong link, and so on. So we are constantly evolving in order for us to be able to make sure our customers, in their minds and in their hearts, are willing to work with us because we're the right partners. And I think based on the growth of our companies, not only in Brave, but the entire portfolio of Globe, we've been successful so far. And that starts off by treating other people right, and that includes our customers and our employees. And data privacy is just one of the facets that we make sure they feel comfortable with. Are we always right? No, there's many instances that we need to evolve. And that's what makes us, I think, more unique than others, because we're willing to say, we don't know everything. We need to know from others who are much more experts than us. We partner with them, we learn with them, such as your presence in the media and entertainment group, and to be able to say, oh, no, we can adopt this to become better. And one of them is data privacy, but there are a lot more.
There's so much learnings that we want to digest, and I hope Nikko can come back here in Open for Business to discuss, more of, the other exciting things about Brave Connective. Pero Nikko, so you've been in the industry, and we know that you are one of the most respected, one of the pillars in the telco industry and in your company as well. What's next with Brave muna and Nikko siguro?
For Brave, there's no ceiling, because we feel that the digitalization of the B2B business will always have new areas. We haven't even talked about our digital plans for rewards, for loyalty, and the new ways of adopting AI and other forms of technology. So I don't think there's a ceiling for that one. Our job is to make sure that we create value as we lead these businesses. As for me, I think I'm of an age wherein we need to pay it forward. We need to make sure that our aspirations is more for other people, that one day you'll have somebody else being interviewed who is the new CEO of Brave or a new CEO of other companies who is much more prepared for this generation. I think my job is to make sure that it will come from our own stable of leaders, and they will be proud to carry the name Brave and Globe as they lead the next generation of leaders in Globe and the next generation of customers within Globe. We will always have Open for Business as a way to dialogue and converse about these updates. So we're very excited for the future. Thank you for Open for Business for allowing us to have this opportunity to discuss a very important passion for us, which is Brave Connective. We are open for business for all B2B clients or would-be clients who seek to digitalize their platforms to be able to service their customers better. Why work with us? We simply want to try better and harder and be able to serve our customers better. And I think one of the distinctions that we are proud of together with Net25 is that we do it not for ourselves but for others. When you start thinking about others first, about their needs, their passions, for solutions with their problems, it's easier because you're doing it for others beyond yourself. And once you have that type of focus, everything will follow. As they say, onwards and upwards with Brave Connective and Net25 for the sake of others. Maraming po salamat.
Thank you so much, Nikko Acosta. And our buzzword of the week is programmatic advertising. It uses automated technology and algorithmic tools for media buying. The term programmatic relates to the process of how ads are bought and sold in the advertising space. And with that, our quote of the week is from Steve Jobs. He said, "Master the topic, the message, and the delivery." Maraming salamat, Nikko. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat sa inyo sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin upang tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us on Facebook, on YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen. Feel the pulse and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si Cesar Vallejos. Marami pong salamat.